Huron's a great school. The academics here are off the charts. We can compete pretty much with any school in the state. One of the things that's been a problem here is people always looked at it as a basketball school, and Huron's not a football school. I think that's the opposite. When you look back at the history here at Huron, we have done some great things. We have made playoff runs. We have been in a state title game. It's been a while, but we have been there. There's a lot of schools, not only in the state of Michigan, but across the country, can honestly say that we have not played in a state playoff game, or we have not reached the state title game. But we've done that. Okay, it's just been a while. So we got to break that chain, and I feel once we break that chain, it's going to start rolling in the right direction. Broderick Smith, head football coach at Arbor Huron. 5th year here at Ann Arbor Huron, 1st year as a varsity head football coach. Very excited about my program, very excited to be here, very excited to take this opportunity to lead these young men. Well, it was a little bit challenging based on some of the things that happened this year with numbers and eligibility, kids not being committed to the program, and then the change. I think the change was the biggest issue. Kids not understanding that with change there's going to be some challenges, and that's something that you just can't escape. You have to look at change as an opportunity, and some embraced it and some chose not to embrace it. And so I think that was our biggest challenge of the year. Oh, wow, there were so many. I think it goes back to youth football, and then even when I was in high school, my head football coach in high school, Coach Chuck Cook. He was a great man. He was a teacher at the high school, but more importantly, I think he cared about the kids. He ran a summer youth program, and for me, coming from the background that I did, having that summer youth program helped us out a lot. And when the football coaches, they ran it, so we just started playing football like early in the summer, like June, July, and then his mentoring and the coaching just was something that I thought was just, hey, I want to do that one day, and I was thankful to have that opportunity. Yes, I spent at the high school level. I spent 5 years at Ypsilanti High School under Coach Dave Poole from 2005 to 2009. Shortly after that, '09, I did not come back in 2010, and I went down to the youth levels where I had spent 8 years prior with the Ypsilanti Junior Braves. That's where my actual youth coaching came into play in 1997. In 2010, I went back down there to be the director of football operations and also be the head coach of the freshman team. 2011, I took over the varsity team and still was the youth director of football operations. 2012, Ypsilanti asked me to come back, so I went back down to Ypsilanti for a second stint as their JV head coach. And then 2013, Huron had an opportunity to come here to Huron, and I've been here since. I fully believe so. I think that coaching young men at the ages of 7, 8, 9, and 10, you really have a good understanding of how to facilitate a practice. Because you're going to have kids that's going to lose focus. They're going to be off in their other worlds, and you can't be upset about that, right? You got to understand that this is an 8-year-old, this is a 9-year-old, or this is a 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old is not going to be, or the 8-year-old is not going to be where the 10-year-old is mentally. Even though physically they may be the same, but this kid's 10 years old. And then understanding how to motivate them. So you start to learn the different tricks of the trade, what motivates kids, what doesn't motivate kids, what kid you can come at aggressively, and what kid you cannot come at aggressively. And I think youth helps that balance, gives me a real good equilibrium of how to be able to approach different types of kids coming from different ethnicities and different backgrounds. Because everybody just can't take the rah, rah, rah and get at you, and you have to learn those approaches. And I think youth sports helps facilitate that. Consistency. Right off the bat, I mean, we were a very inconsistent team this year. A lot of turnovers. I think that was our Achilles heel. You know, just way too many, far too many turnovers. So consistency, I think that's something that we want to be our #1 focus offensively and defensively, making sure that we, A, protect the ball on offense, and on B, get off the field on defense, get off the field on 3rd and long, 4th and long. We have to get off the field. A lot of times this situation this fall, we were in some 3rd and long and in some 4th and long situations, and we couldn't get off the field. And we have to be able to get off the field in those situations. And then for us on offense, when we're in those same situations, we have to convert. We have to help our defense out and make those big plays and make those catches and not turn the ball over so much. So those are going to be the emphasis, period, in the story. Protect the football, and get better in all aspects. Cinc magazine is the culture, baby.